Hello everybody, Zeph here with Zeph's Trading. Hope you guys are doing well. February 13th, 2024. We're going to be doing a short review of the S&P 500 daily chart and the 2000 tick chart. We have 3 trades on the day, 2 wins, technically 3 wins, and then one of them was just 1 point instead of 2 points. But I'll go over those in a little bit. Yesterday we called out that this daily candle closing on was 1/3. Ripped past 50-50, almost hit, was a high, yeah, 50-66-50. It's almost at 5100. Way above the purple EMA band, looking for a reversal, and yeah, we finally got it. So back down to basically where the hoagie was congested at before, around this price level here at 49.72. So we'll see if we get back to maybe 49.50. Even or maybe on the bottom here around the 48.39 mark. But nonetheless, I'm pretty sure this thing's still going to go higher. This could just be a minor pullback. We're still in a really nice uptrend. So until I see a reversal pattern or lower highs start forming, we're still in a higher low and a full trend. As you can see, this nice uptrend as well. 1, 2, 3 touches, and this 21 EMA is holding nicely. 2000 tick chart was pretty all over the place. Some pretty good setups. So let's go over there and take a look. This is what it looks like for the 2000 tick chart for today. Really big sell-off here. As you can see, I found a little bit of a bottom after market opened for about half an hour, sold off a little more, and then rallied for about majority of the day, just back up to basically 49.90, 48.80, somewhere around there. But yeah, I'd just say uptrend, basically a trading range. I mean, it's pretty sideways, but there's such volatility that you were able to find some good setups. So let's go through these. And I got here early today, all pre-market and everything like that, so that was good. Let's see, I actually got here a little after, I think 9:20, like right when this formed. So this is your first second entry short right here. Now I was looking at this bar. It has a little stem, but overall you have a first entry, pulls back, second entry short. And, you know, that's not too bad, especially with how big this trend is. You have plenty of room to the bottom. And the EMA is holding, first time coming above it. So, you know, that might be a pretty aggressive trade. You know, just because there's so much stem on it, it's not the best signal bar. So I think I'm going to mark that one black. But nonetheless, you get a nice test back down. I think this is a 50%. Yep, back right to the 61.80. Goes up first entry long, pulls back, and again, a nice outside bar, but never ticks higher. And basically just double tops and sells right off. Then you find a bottom here, you get a nice double bottom. Unfortunately, you just get a first entry. You do get a second entry, but it's a doji bar, so you can't take that. Yeah, then you rally up, and unfortunately, there's just nowhere to get in here. You do get a first entry pull back, and I was hoping for a failed second entry short right off the EMA off this midline after I drew this trend channel, as I did my tops and bottoms there for support and resistance, but nonetheless it doesn't and just rallies right up. So then you technically get a first entry short, huge rally, outside bar closing on its low. Now this would be a second entry short. The only problem I saw with this one is basically it just congested, and it's a hoagie pattern with multiple inside bars. And it finally does close out right here after the 2 inside bars. Then you're like, well, I mean, I could do a limit order. I could put my stop above the hoagie. And, you know, the context isn't too bad, but you don't know if this is just going to go down, keep going, and then just do a huge failed second entry and then bounce up. So, again, that's a pretty aggressive trade, and I don't know if you could take that. So you could just skip that one, wait for something better. You still got the rest of the day. That's basically my mindset, but I just wanted to mark it and talk about it. Then you get a nice sell off here. You get a first entry long, pulls back, huge bullish bar closing up, just gets congested, multiple overlapping bars, nothing to get long or short there. Another first entry, again, just multiple bars overlapping, too much congestion. Makes fresh lows on the day about almost 30 minutes after. It just sells off. You get a first entry, no second entry, unfortunately. Yeah, you can just see it just chops around, keeps chopping around. Finally get a break, a new low out of our trend channel. I was looking for a second entry short here, but again, just nothing. You just didn't get it. You just kept getting the first entries with good signal bars, and there might be an argument to be made with such a big downtrend that you could take some of these, but I think they're pretty aggressive, and I'd rather just wait for a better setup. Then we get a really nice rally, and we start going. We get a nice spike and channel, basically. But yeah, and you just missed this move too. Just nowhere to get in. Price right above EMA. You're clearly with the trend. So you just gotta wait. And then this is where you get a nice little bit of a break, new high. You get a first entry long, pulls back. Second entry long. So this is where I took my first trade. And let me mark it for you. And so I took my first trade with my 3 contracts and 1 runner. So scalping for 2, and I'm trying to go for 2 points, 2-point stop, and then 1 runner. And then I'll adjust my risk as best as I can. So as I saw this, I saw a clear uptrend. You know, it's above EMA, first entry long, pulls back. I basically have a second entry long, and it's a higher low. The only thing that I was worried about was this lower high right here. And I was correct. You know, I did go 1 tick above my signal bar, put my stop here. And then I see this bar close, and I was like, well, I could trail it. And then I realized, I think this overall structure, my stop actually needs to go all the way down below the first swing, because I got prematurely, I entered prematurely as I'm too far away from the EMA and I'm too far away from a key entry point. So I think the context was good, but sure enough, so I put my stop all the way down here, and I was gonna see if this bounces off the EMA, and then I'll trail it accordingly. And then what you get is a basically just a double trap, whatever you want to call it. A first entry long, second entry long, then it fails, then it comes up, and then you get the correct signal bar, which is what I probably just should have waited for to see if this was like an overall structure of a visual 2-legged pullback. Sometimes they try to shake you out and then go higher, which I think they did here. Nonetheless, once I see this, I see it close, I realize I'm on the right side of the market, and I just put my stop 1 tick under, and then I trail it again 1 tick under once this bar closes, and then I get my 2 points. And unfortunately, my runner gets stopped out, but that's okay. That's just what it is. So I think I should have just waited for a better signal bar, because this one does have a little bit of stem on it. And then what I also could have done is basically do a limit order, basically just look for a confirmation of this second entry long, and you get it with this bar right here and not the one that I got in. Also, there's an argument to be made that it's going into resistance right here, especially when you get a bearish bar like this, and it's such a big bar that engulfs a lot of them. Price does like to come and test basically right up here, turn back down, and I think that's probably how I should have approached it, but nonetheless, I still think I did a good job with putting my stop and assessing that, yeah, I think I might be on the right side of this. There's at least 60% chance of it going higher, and if I see this just like turn down or not finish with any green bars, then I'll just sell it off and take the loss. Okay, so then, yeah, I get my 2 points, runner gets stopped out. Then I see this right here, and what I see is, counting from a new low, I see a first entry short, pulls back, and 1 tick underneath is going to be a second entry short. And then I also see basically across the board here a triple test. So I see resistance of 1, 2, and this would be 3. And I realize this is an aggressive trade with a triple test. And I watched this bar come all the way up, made a new high, and flash back down. So I think shorts still have an opportunity here to assess dominance back down to the low of the range. And so that's when I'm like, okay, well, let me just do a limit order. And I'll just put my stop 1 tick above. So I'm only going to risk a point, and I'm going to try to make 2. And if I'm wrong here, this is just an aggressive trade, but I still really like the context of the triple test. And since we have a break, a couple legs up to a new stream, and resistance on that triple test, sure enough, it gets close, but never goes above this great signal bar, closing right on its 1/3, nice bearish bar. And then sure enough, it goes right back down to the EMA, to the middle of the range, on that 50%, and then my runner gets stopped out, plus 1 tick, just to cover the commission. And then just chops around sideways here for quite some time. Then I see this, and this is actually a really good trade. I missed, unfortunately. We got double top, so first entry long, pulls back, right off a key entry point, off 2 key entry points, actually 3, because you have the middle line, you have our trend channel line, and you have an EMA. And I tried to do a limit order. I just hesitated with this one. This was probably the second entry long, like at the trade of the day. Clearly in an uptrend, I just hesitated. After 3 trades, I also have a rule of not trading anymore. Actually, I'm only at 2 trades. I take my 3rd trade later on. But after the second entry long, yeah, I kind of got mixed up a little bit. I was like, oh, I missed this, and got a little flustered with it just because it was such a good trade, and I don't see very clear second entry longs in the last 2 weeks of trading. So that was definitely the trade, and I hope you guys took that. Then it rallies up, makes a new high, comes back down, and let's see here. Then we just get a low, get a first entry short, rallies up. Yeah, it gets in this nice trend channel. Where's my 3rd trade? I think my 3rd trade's coming up. Anyways, so then you basically get a break of this range here. Actually, is this first entry long, second entry long? Yeah. Just making sure I made my counts correctly on when marking it. Yeah, so you get this uptrend, you get a first entry long, you can see the highs never went, and then you get this second entry long. And once again, I hesitated because I'm like, okay, well, we have fresh highs. It is at 2 key entry points, but there's a little bit of stem on this signal bar, and I'm like, maybe I should just wait for a higher low. So I tried to do a limit order a few ticks even back, and that didn't work. So yeah, nonetheless, it just takes off. So that was a good second entry long as well. Unfortunately, I just missed it. And then we get a first entry, second entry short, good signal bar closing on its low. Then you basically just, get a little overlapping bars and sells off here. I don't think you can't take the second entry short into such a strong uptrend. This is where I take my 3rd and final trade of the day. And so what I see here is a first entry short, second entry short failure. And I mean, this isn't necessarily a failure. I mean, you do get your 2 points here. Let me see here. One. Yeah, I mean, you do get your 2 points here on this second entry short. It's a good signal bar, but it's in an uptrend, so you got to pass on it. So anyways, then you get the second entry short, and then it fails, and it goes a little with this nice bullish bar off the trend line and the EMA. And then it rallies up a little bit. And then I see this lower high form, and then that's when I enter 1 tick below. And I also see, some nice resistance across the board here. The overlapping bars overall are a little bit, but then I realize when I'm in, I see this lower high, but then I'm looking back, I'm like, this is such a clear, strong uptrend that I'm actually trading against the market here, and there's no room for 2 points down. And so I immediately adjust profit target to 1 point, which, I think that's just a discretionary move that I probably shouldn't have even taken this trade in an uptrend. But I clearly like this first entry, second entry short. It fails the lower high form, so the context is really good of like the bears are still in control. This might move at least back down a point, and it does. I do get out for 1 point, and my runner gets stopped for break even. Sure enough, I did read this market correct. It's just only for a point. You can't take this because there's no room for 2 points, and if you're going to risk 2 to make 1, I don't really like that anymore. So probably should just pass on this trade. Nonetheless, unless you're scalping for 1 point or you go for another limit order, which I also could have done, especially with how the day has been with so much overlapping price going up, down, up, down, up, down, and the huge wicks that are happening. I think a limit order would have been totally fine too, especially a few, like 2 to 3 ticks back up, which it's been hitting. Nonetheless, I get my 1.1 runner, so that's my 3rd trade on the day. So technically it is 3 wins. I do feel a little upset that I hesitated. That's just something you gotta overcome with this great second entry long, and then this also second entry long, clear trend up, down, plenty of room to, both highs here with this second entry long for 2 points. So those are the trades of the day. And then let me get rid of this. Then we just rally back down. We finally sell off. Well, actually, we break out of this trend channel. We sell off here. And then we get a nice triple test. And, I would have taken this trade as well if it wasn't for my 3 trades on the day rule. This was a great triple test on the bottom here. You can clearly see 1, 2, 3. So that was just such a nice triple test there. And it goes up, then you get a first entry short, pulls back, and you get a second entry short. Great signal bar, outside bar closing in the low. There is a little bit of congestion here, so that might be an argument to be made. But maybe if you enter with a limit order and you're stopped at least above the, let's see if it is above this outside bar. So yeah, where's 2 points? 25, 1, 2. Yeah, you would have gotten a limit order if you just did, a tick back on the limit order. 1, 2 ticks back, definitely probably would have at least got filled. And then you have plenty of room for 2 points, and then trail your runner properly and maybe got another 2 or 1 point. So that was a nice second entry short as well. So a lot better trades today than there have been for the last few ones. So let's see if the market keeps doing it. Then you get a rally up, multiple green bars closing on their highs. Finally, you get a first entry, pulls back, second entry short, basically just outside bar with equal stems. So then you get another nice one green bar closing on its 1/3, and then it just kind of sells off here for the rest of it. And this is when it's almost 2 o'clock, so trading's done for today, and it looks like we've just been chopping around. You get a first entry, first entry, first entry, and really nothing else here. We'll probably make a new low of the day, I'm guessing, but you never know. Might just chop around, get close, and then rally back up a little bit and stay around the 49.75, 49.70 mark. Who knows? But that's how I saw it today. Those are the trades that I took. Overall, I think I did better than I have been for the last 2 weeks, but I've definitely traded better before. Those second entry longs are definitely the trades of the day, and or that triple test. Doesn't get much clearer than that. And yeah, as long as I protect my capital and keep on going, also doing the Mark Douglas 20 trade challenge again. I recommends doing anywhere from 3 to 5 assessments of it, so I'm going to keep doing that till my trading gets perfectly executed after fighting all the like psychological issues that us traders deal with. But nonetheless, that's the way I saw it for today. Let me know how your guys' trades went, and if you guys took any of those trades that I've marked, or if you saw anything that I haven't marked. Love to know in the comment section below. Alrighty, see you guys tomorrow.